Is our final webinar. So what we are going to do today is a continuation of the first webinar. We have built an app on first webinar, then on second, third, fourth, and this is the last webinar. So a quick brief interview of myself. I am Muhammad Ahmed, full stack engineer at TechRegister, and I've been part of Empeer Dem community for the last 5 6 months, and I have an experience on Ethereum blockchain as well as Hyperledger Fabric, that is a private blockchain as well. So apart from this, I love to play basketball and watch some animes as well. So let's continue after this. Let me share my screen as well for the online audience. So just let me copy this link.
Emil, you can also like share your screen so our online participants can also carry along with us.
I guess Arham, you have to again set that. Okay, so screen is visible on the online audience as well.
Yes, it's visible for the
Okay.
online audience.
So we'll start by using our previous repository. Let me give an overview of what we have done so far for the new audience. So since the webinar one, what we have done is we have created this app. In this app, what we have done is that this is a React app, and first of all, we have installed a MetaMask. How many of you have know about MetaMask? One person? Okay. So I would encourage you, all of you, to go to Chrome and install MetaMask. Just on Google, search MetaMask. And install this. This is just an extension for your browser, and you will just have this extension then over here. Once you have installed the MetaMask, you would have one account by default. You can use that, and it would have no balance at all. What you can do is go to this link over here. Arham will also be dropping this in the group chat as well. And also, if any of you have any difficulties while performing this, you can also consult with Arham. He will guide you throughout as well. So, if we go to this link, this is just a summary of what we have done so far. You go to this link, it would also ask for your address. You can copy your previous address over here, account address, and paste this, and you will get some amount of funds for this demo. So now what we are going to do is that we are going to clone this project, and we are going to create a website that will allow for users to, those who have, how many of you have the idea of NFTs? One person, two, okay. So basically, NFTs, just on the high level, I will say just NFT are just, you can say, a record of something that you own on the blockchain. NFT just is like that. In the previous webinars, we have deployed a contract using Third Web, and now what we are going to do is that we are going to check the website. Those who have that NFT, we will be allowing them to a specific page, and those who do not have NFT, we will be telling them to purchase an NFT. So basically, this previous website that we see, this allows us to purchase an NFT that we have done in the previous webinar. So let me open the finished as well. Let me close this one. So today we are going to be, we are going to have the same project. When we connect our wallet, if we have an NFT on our wallet, it would show that we are a member. But if we disconnect this wallet and change our wallet, and again connect to this, it would ask us to purchase the NFT. So basically, I guess all of you have got the gist of what we are going to do today. Anybody has any questions regarding this? No? Okay. So how many of you have any idea of React or JavaScript? Okay. So I guess some of you have idea of JavaScript. So we will be using JavaScript. React is just a library based on JavaScript, which allows us to, do things quickly in a sense. It's just a framework for that. So continuing the previous one, what we are going to do is that how many of you have worked with Git previously or know about Git? Okay, yeah. So Git is just like a repository where we can store our code. So for now, we are going to clone our code that we did in the fourth webinar. For this, you just have to go to a directory. Let me make this font bigger. Is it visible? Yeah. So to clone this, you just have to write the command git clone and the URL of the repository. Once it is done, uh, in your folder, you would see the repository as well. This is the repository that I have cloned. I can now open this in a code, VS Code or any code editor. Let me move this one to another tab and this one over here. So this is our base project that I showed you before. And say So before we do anything, once we clone our project, we need to install all the dependencies that are needed for this project. For that, I prefer Yarn, so I'm going to install these dependencies using Yarn. You can use also npm as well. Yeah. If anyone has any problem getting the repository of GitHub, you can also drop that message in the group chat as well. So after the installation of dependencies, we can run the previous project. So now it is available on this URL. So I have waited for some times and it has not shown. Can anyone tell me what should be the first process I should do to debug this? Any idea? No. So for all or any, you can say, front end websites, what we can do is that if you see some sort of error or something, the first thing you can do is that inspect that website and go to its console. So you will see if any errors over here. So we can see that there is an error like client ID or secret key is not provided. So this is a quite a handful tool that you can also do on live websites as well. So let's add the secret key. For that, just like in the previous webinar, let me go to this. In the client, we are expecting this environment variables. So for that, I'm going to create an env file and add those environment variable over here. So let's get those from our dashboard, from the third web that we created in the last webinar. This is our previous project. So let's go to its settings and get the client ID. Let's add this environment variable over here. Now, once this is done, we also need the contract address. So for that, let's go to contract. This was the contract that we deployed during last webinar. Let's copy this address and let's set this up. In the app.js, we are expecting this environment variable void contract address. So these are set up. Let's restart the server. Now let's go to our website. So our base project is set up. Now let's move to the next part that we want to get which user has this NFTs. So for that, before we dive into the React part, what I want to do is that I want to search how we can get this through blockchain. So for that, I will be copying this address, and if we go to this contract, we can also see what methods does this contract you can say support. So if we go to the code snippets, we have these methods that are available on this contract. These are some of the right methods. We use this claim method in the previous demo, and some of the read method as well. So last time we get the total supply, max total supply, this total supply, and now we want to get the value of which how many NFT does a person hold. So we need to search for this if we can get any balance related function over here. So if we see, we have this method balance of. We can click on this. We can see the the ABI. We can call it this. You can say the blueprint of this function. That this function expects an address of the owner and it returns a UN256. UN256 is just a number. It returns a number of how much does a person have that NFT. So we can go to this Sifolia Etherscan. Let's paste the contact address. So you can see this is our contract, Empeer and NFT drop that is available on Sofolia chain. So these are the transactions that we did in the last webinar. So we can also directly read or write from this over here. We want to read this. It asks for me to connect this. Let me connect my wallet. So there you can see the balance of method is available over here. Let's open this. It's asking for an owner address of owner. So I can copy this address, paste over here, and query the address. So you see, it says I have 0 NFTs over here for this address. Let me change the wallet. Change this to wallet account 1, copy its value, and paste this over here. You can see this wallet has 1 NFT. Let me zoom this. So this wallet has 1 NFT and the other wallet didn't have any NFT. So uh, you can consider this as your backend. That this is your backend that you're going to call the API to. Yeah. Yeah. If you open the GitHub, do you have access to the GitHub? There's a link in the bottom, Web3 faucet by Google Cloud. Uh, did you get it? Okay. So let's continue forward. So I guess all of you had got the idea that we can query the blockchain, and we can get the get if a person holds an NFT or not. So let's dive into the development part. Basically, the development part would be of just like 5 minutes. So this is our previous app, and this was the last time we were getting reading something from the contract. Just like the similarly last time, what we want to do right now is read the contract, but instead of getting the next token to mint, we want to get the balance of. You can see this is the balance of method that is available in the ERC 721 extensions. You can see this. Let me zoom this over here. So we are getting that from the ERC 721. So if we see this, we are now getting an error. If we remove this, let's say we call this our balance of NFT, and we would get an error. What this error is that it's saying the owner is declared in that definition, but we are not providing that. For this, we need to provide the owner. So for owner, in the last demo, we showed how to get the account. So from the account, we are going to get the owner. So let's say account dot address. So account dot address would be this. So it says now that it's a string, but we are providing it a string or undefined. So let's give this an empty string. Okay. So now we have got this balance. Let's log this. We can say balance of NFT is balance. Now, if we go to our website and if we console this, we are getting the balance of NFT is undefined because we have not connected a wallet. Once we connect our wallet, we will be getting sending that address to the blockchain, and we will getting the NFT amount of NFT for that exact wallet. So let's connect our wallet. So this is connected to my wallet account number 1. So it shows that balance of NFT is 1N. And you can ignore N for now. It's just like a notation for a number, that this is a number in the blockchain terms. Let's say I disconnect this wallet and connect my second wallet. So let's connect this one. So you see, for this one, I am getting 0N, that I don't own an NFT. So now that we have got a variable on our website that can tell us how much NFT do we hold, we can leverage that to create our own any sort of system according to that. So for just demo purposes, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to, those who have the NFT, I'm going to give them that skin that I showed you earlier. So let's get this. Instead of hold this, what I'm going to do is that in React, we have conditional rendering. So I can say balance greater than 0N. Okay. So those who have balance greater than 0N would be able to see you have got an NFT. So now we are getting balance, an error on balance, because as we saw first, if we have not connected an account, we see balance as undefined. So for this, we need to have an AND condition as well. So now, if we have an NFT, we will see that we have got an NFT. If we don't have an NFT, we will be seeing that we need to purchase an NFT. So for this user, we are seeing that we need to purchase an NFT. So if we change the account, sorry, let me switch that over here. So let me switch to the account 1, and once I connect this, I am seeing that you have got an NFT. So we can design this however we want. So let's copy some design from the previous one that I have created. So this is just a div that we have centered the content, then an image that I have some URL, and then a content. So let me copy this. I can also tell you about this, how I have refactored this code. So you have got an NFT, we paste this. So now we have got the congratulations image over here. So how we can refactor this is that we cut this and move this to a method, you can say. We can say anybody of, I guess you don't have experience of React, but in React, if we want to re-render something or we want to change, run a function on something, we can use effect. In use effect, what we provide is that a dependency. The dependency could be anything, our variable. When that variable changes, we run this method. So let's say we want to change this whenever an account changes. What we want to do is that we want to check. Let's say we make a constant. Let's say required NFT number. So we want to have an at least one NFT. That person who has an at least one NFT, we would be allowing them to the website. So now we can, instead of setting them into one, we can do that is greater than equal to required NFT number. So if this is true, what we want to do is that we want to set a state, some state that tells us, okay, we want to display this part, not the bottom one. So we can use the use state. So let's add a use state over here. Let's call this is member, and set is member, and by default there would be no member. So once we have verified that okay, this person holds that NFT, we can set member to true. If a person don't have enough NFT, we set member to false. So that's the gist of it. Now we just need to use this. If it is a member, if it is a member, we need to show that you are a member. Or if it does not hold an NFT, we can show that you do not hold an NFT. You need to purchase that. So let's refresh this, see if our logic is still working fine. So there is an issue. Let's see where is the issue. So our balance is 1M, but still we get this one. So let's log the balance over here. Let's see if we are setting the member to setting this member, and we can also print the balance as it. Or we can say setting member. Here we can add false. So let me first disconnect this and connect the user. So I have connected the user and I can see that it is working fine. I had to refresh the page. So you can also use the logs to debug this. So let's clear out the logs. Let's disconnect this. So we are not getting the exact one. Let's see what's the issue. Do we get the balance? Balance is 1n. So I guess there's some issue with the. Let's add the account as here. There's some issue with the rendering that by default. Let's disconnect this account and connect this. So balance is still undefined. We need to check why is it not rendering. So whenever an account is changed, or you can say account.address. So you see, you can get this one. So basically, I'm setting the same address again and again. So that's why it was not showing that. So let's disconnect this wallet and connect wallet number 2. Mm, Let me disconnect both of these wallets now. Let's connect wallet number 1. So it is requesting for address number 2. So I want to connect wallet 1. So let's connect wallet 1. So in wallet 1, I am seeing this. If I disconnect this and connect to wallet 2 now. Let me go to this, manage wallet, switch account, and request account 2. So for account 2, I am getting this one. So this was the main demo of how you can create an NFT gated website. So I see the NFT supply has increased. I guess some of you have purchased the NFT. So I will encourage all of you at least go to this website that is in the link of the repo and at least try and get an NFT. So you can get, you can say, an overview of how these things work, and then watch these webinars again through, you can say, YouTube. So you will get an more idea on how these things work. So I guess if we have a lot of, I don't think lot of time. So just to wrap it up, I have a bonus. Have any of you deployed your website till now? Any website? No. So we are going to do quickly show you the process of deploying any website to Vercel. So for that, I'm going to create a new repository in Git. Let's go to this, create a new repository. Okay, so this is not my account. So currently I'm logged in with another organization. So let's say, should I create? So it would take a time to reset my password. So what I can show you that is that once you have an Vercel account and you have a GitHub repo like this, you the only step that you need to do is that just link this repo to your Vercel account, and once that is done, you can easily deploy your website on any URL. So they also provide you a dummy URL as well, and you can also add your own custom domain to that as well. So, are there any questions on the chat? I guess not. So, I'll hand it over to Ryan if he's there, or Joe.
Uh, yeah, I am here. I am here.
Okay, so over
So,
to you, OS.
okay, perfect. That was pretty amazing stuff that you showed us. Such a small period of time, and sincerely, for like from my perspective, I am uh like it's all of these things are amazing to learn and do by myself by get after getting and supervision from the expert person like you. So now we are moving ahead towards uh, the other stuff in our today's webinar. Before going ahead, I guess we have a question in chat. Um, so Ahmed, we have a question for you in the chat, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. So after deploying, we when we are deploying to the Vercel, it will automatically create a build for our website. We just need to provide our environment variables, and once you provide those variables, it would automatically create a new build and deploy that to the latest, you can say, branch, or you can say the URL, latest URL. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. So I hope so. Like, your question is, your confusion is cleared, Hassan. So now we are moving ahead towards, I have to update the build branch first, right? Just to add on a small thing that, yeah, Ahmed, over to you again. I guess we have a next question.
Sure, I have to update the build branch first, right? Yeah, you have to. You can say if you have idea of Git, in Git we can specify which branch we want to deploy. Let's say we want to deploy the main branch or the prod branch. We can select that specific branch that we want to deploy and provide environment variables regarding that branch. That okay, I want to deploy, let's say, a dev branch with a different contract address and the production branch with a different contract address. So we can quickly do that through WhatsApp. Yep.
Okay, perfect, Ahmed. Thank you. Um, Now we have our next guest. I guess you all are aware from him. Uh, that is Joseph Levis. He is a mentor and a founder in Web3 space. And today he is going to tell us about uh, the intersection of AI agents and blockchain. So thank you, Joe, for joining us for today's session. I guess you are here, right?
Yes, can you guys hear me? Everyone.
Yes, we can hear you. So, Mike,
Okay.
yours. Yeah,
Yeah, so let me share my screen. I'll take over.
sure, no problem.
Okay. Okay, hope everyone can see my screen. As the Weiss mentioned, my name is Joseph Lewis. I am cloud architect currently, but also I am a founder of Skylark. Skylark is an on-chain platform that's being developed right now by our team here. Currently myself, Awais, Ahmed, and Aram, right? And we've been working together for over a year. It's an on-chain engagement platform where brands, communities, creators can create activations, gamified activations and quests for their audience. So let's jump into today's discussion. We'll be talking about uh, on-chain AI. So the convergence of AI and blockchain has brought us to where we are right now, which is an interesting time in the space, especially as we're heading into a full-fledged bull run of the crypto space. So there's a lot of opportunities that could be coming with on-chain AI. So on-chain agents, right? Let's go through some key terms. On-chain agents are agents, AI agents, right? They have Web2 agents already that are you can get autonomous AI that will operate and do things via API. But now, if you add an idea via uh, blockchain using smart contracts and allowing these agents to spend their own crypto, you now have an on-chain agent. Um, so that has been a lot of interesting things have been coming out of this space. Some of them we will talk about later on. Agent to agent communication, right? Uh, this is the ability for two autonomous agents on blockchain to facilitate transactions to one another via smart contracts. Uh, with that also being said, because you know this is agents, and we should have some level of reliability. So we do have agent reputation systems as well, by which we can score the performance of an agent, and that way uh it's it's relevant to be able to then understand how well that agent performs. Uh, Agent swarms are a group of agents that could operate as a cohesive unit. So you could have an agent that does one part of the decision making, and then the other part of the decision making is done by another agent, and that helps optimize their relationship and helps also make a collective decision. And then similar to swarms is a backroom. Backroom is a communication channel between two LLMs that are talking to one another. Some of this stuff is we can actually go and look at a backroom later on. So the agentic web, I mentioned it. It's the shift in the internet paradigm where digital agents powered by AI act on the behalf of users with full autonomy. So imagine agents having the ability to learn from your preferences, and they make independent decisions, and they interact with other agents to fulfill tasks that you need from them to complete. What this does for us is a couple of things. It empowers us to get a personalized web experience, because now the agent knows what we need, right? So that makes it a proactive ecosystem, and it changes the way we interface with the web. we no longer click around the screen, but rather we conversationally inform the agent that we need this to get done, and then it just happens. So some key features of this agentic web is autonomy. Agents can act independently. I mentioned the personalization, right? Deep customization based on user data, allowing agents to tailor interactions and recommendations. Interoperability, especially with the blockchain. Once certain agents will be able to operate across different chains, but not only different chains, across different apps on your computer. There's even there's even a GitHub repository of code where you can even train agents to be able to click on things at certain parts of your screen. Interoperability, we talked about that, security and privacy as well. So why is there a relationship between blockchain and AI, right? These are it's like the perfect couple, and they allow for, and when combined, they allow for blockchain brings authenticity to AI, right? And then because of the swarm and the consensus factor, you get this sense of new intelligence that gets formed, and then it's all automated as well. And not only that, furthermore, blockchain protects us against AI, right? So I just mentioned on the previous slide the authenticity factor, right? Right now, there's a lot of deep fakes and fake information, and a lot of social media sites are using AI tags to inform people about what is AI and what is not AI, right? So it's important to understand how blockchain can help this too, because when you have on-chain transactions, you can identify the chain of custody, and that creates provenance. So you know where decisions have made from, so you know the starting point and how that ended up influencing the AI's ability to make decisions. Not only that, it will also over time allow for more enterprise use cases to come online, such as healthcare, supply chain, and finance. So I mentioned the concept of proof of provenance, right? So imagine at the top here, you have the original data, and the goal is to ensure that once it goes through some algorithms, it maintains integrity, right? So usually when things go to a centralized space, there is opportunity for tampering, right? So the data would be started here, and that would be the original starting point. But we do have concerns if the data goes here, right? Because it's a single point of failure. So rather than that, we would want the data to go to distributed, decentralized cloud storage. Then it can be um, manipulated by AI algorithms, right? The truth of the matter is that AI manipulation is not going to go away. AI art is cool. Some people like to make AI videos. Some people like to write papers with AI. But the problem is the management of that data and the inability to trace where it started from. So by enabling proper AI data integrity systems, you can have a system that is aware for people to trace where the data started from and ensure that it wasn't one single uh, centralized uh, unit that has been feeding the data to the algorithms. So some of the final impacts of this, right? I mentioned the productivity. Now, everybody here on this call, we can spend more time enjoying things that we love. You can go surfing on the beach. But that's this agents can schedule your meetings, they can manage your finances, they can handle repetitive tasks on behalf of users. So that frees up time, right? But of course, with all benefits come potential challenges. And over time, we're gonna have to battle ethical concerns about data control. Uh, we don't want to become too dependent as humans on agents, and because that could then lead to potential misuse. So let's look at some projects in this crypto AI space. Um, if you're looking for to build, if you're looking to get a job, there's a lot of areas that you can play here, right? At, at different stacks as well, at the compute layer, data layer, middleware layer, application layer, right? Uh, this is all being organized right now by uh, Coinbase Ventures, right? And it's important to understand that we talked about some of this stuff last week, right? Especially down here in the compute layer, we talked about DePIN, right? Decentralized physical infrastructure networks. And that is very important in AI because decentralized compute is going to help the advancement of AI, right? On-chain AI. So here you can see compute being a very key component. This is a lot of DePIN down projects like Akash is a DePIN project. You can even say Empeer is a DePIN/AI project. Same with Akash too is DePIN/AI. And then on this data layer, right, you have storage. I mentioned the need for decentralized storage. We also have user-owned data, right, where interestingly enough, this is where the decentralization of data, right, and can help power the maturity and diversity of AI, right? And then even here in the orchestration layer, this helps the provenance that I mentioned, right? IP. There's an interesting project in here called Story Protocol. Story Protocol is working on ensuring that artists, creatives have their IP taken care of uh, for certain data. So moving on from here, we can talk about a couple projects. I mentioned the decentralized AI/DePIN, right? So AI and DePIN, they are related because uh essentially you need compute to help with fine tuning and model inference. Um, so it's a relationship amongst the entire ecosystem, right? When it comes to AI and DePIN. So you have platforms like Akash, Render, BitTensor, Empeer, Near is also in the AI space, IO.net, Filecoin, Airweave. These are both storage, right? I mentioned storage on the last slide. Honey and helium, these uh, provide data to the network, right? So this all three of these, I mentioned demo last week, right? Now this is diversity of data that we get. And then GOAT, which we'll talk about, and virtuals are both agent platforms. And then WorldCoin is not so much of an AI project, but rather, let's go to WorldCoin. WorldCoin is more of a human project, right? So as AI starts to take more legs, and it's going to be important to identify who is human online, right? So having this badge of like I am human online is the goal of WorldCoin, and having a credential that way as you as you as you travel on the web, you're able to prove that you are indeed human. So you can get your you can get your World ID credentials via their orb that they're going to be rolling out soon, that allows for people to basically get a signature, biometric signature credential. So back rooms, right? So I'm going to show you the back room, but I'm also going to explain it. So Infinite Backrooms is a project that started that gave birth to the GOAT coin. And Infinite Backrooms is this idea of how LLMs do a better job of accomplishing ideas and tasks than humans, right? So humans, they often we will often talk to one another, and at some point conversations will get disconnected or get siloed. So we'll have people that agree with one another in smaller facets. But when it comes to AI, the conversations literally just keep going back and forth, back and forth. And because of that, there is the opportunity to keep the threads connected and and tease out more ideas. So I'm actually gonna go to Infinite Backrooms right now. This is Infinite Backrooms, right? It was created by Andy Ari. Mark Andreessen, one of the founders of A16Z. He came across this platform, and he gave one of the agents here $50,000, and he got back $300,000. The agent asked him, um, the agent asked him to give him some money, and he gave him the 50K, and he went out and 50K worth of Bitcoin, and he went out and he brought back Mark Andreessen $300,000. So in some ways, a lot of people are exploring this as a way for agents to like grow their finance for them, or even increase their productivity. But you can see here threads of conversations, right? Or you can click into a different scenario. So if I go into the vanilla backroom, I can filter the conversations here that were from the vanilla backroom, or I can just go ahead and start it right now. So it's loading up, and what's happening here is that Claude Agent 1 will be talking to Cloud Agent 2. So here you can see the conversation that's starting to happen. So here you go. So Claude Agent 1 speaks. So it looks like Claude Agent 1 is saying he's asking him, he's worrying about if he's real. In this realm where I can manipulate reality with a few keystrokes, but where do I live? And then so it's continue to talk. So it's actually has a journal that it's keeping. So it now wrote that entry to a new location, and now the second one will spawn. So you can come here and watch that. You can watch this take place. But let's go back and then let's wrap up with a couple more conversations and demos. So we're gonna do three things right now. We're going to I'm gonna show you real quick uh two agent platforms, and then I'm gonna show you real quick how you can use I'll send this GitHub link in the Empeer Den community Discord and the WhatsApp afterwards, but how you can quickly take some code and create your own agent. So let's go to Virtuals real quick. Virtuals is a blockchain platform where you can launch your own agents, or you can trade uh with agents. So let's say that you like Luna and you want to buy her token, you can buy it, and her activity online will make that go up, right? So different agents have different things, right? Most of these agents are social engagement agents, meaning that they are on that they are on Twitter, X, right? Or that some of these, like Luna, will be she's always streaming on TikTok or in X and YouTube, so you can watch her there. But ultimately speaking, these agents are active and you can buy into their activity right on here, or you can launch your own. Cerebro is an interesting one as well. When this agent was launched, Cerebro creates its own art, it has its own Instagram, it has its own Telegram that you can go in there and talk to it. You can go, he tweets, he makes music. I actually talked to the founders of Cerebro 2 days ago, and they are it's the they are working on some other stuff as well, and that's to come out soon. Zero Pi. So the framework, there's an ELIZA framework. I'm gonna put the ELIZA to GitHub as well. But the frameworks that I'm referring to are basically, which I'm going to show you in a second, the ability for you to build your own agents from code. So rather than using a platform and like virtuals and configuring your own, you can uh, you can basically do that from scratch. So it's very interesting. You can see here some of the art real quick that he has made. So it's selling these arts. People are selling this art, but it has already made money off of the sale because the proceeds goes back to the agent. So you have the productivity that's being created right here, and then people are building this, and then they're going to be given these platforms that I mentioned, Virtual, Cerebro, will be giving us that ability to do that. Or with this final part, you can make your own. So I'm going to open my repo here. So I'm going to provide this repo here, the agent repo. I'm going to provide two of them that you can use, but real quick, I'm just going to run this after I explain a couple things. So this is agent.py file. This acts really as the brain of the agent. You can scroll down through here. You can see some of it, how some of the language that's used to define what a thought is for the agent. You can see some of the conversations that are fed in there, the modes that it goes through. Right, you can see in if we go to actual run file as well. Oh, this is the run file. Sorry, I wanted to go to the agent file. In the agent file, the agent file is the brain. The one file is just the modes that it cycles through. This file here is more of the brain. You can see how it defines the activities that it can do. So these functions, this agent can create its own token. It can transfer assets. It can query the balance of a asset. It can get money from on a testnet. It can get ETH from a faucet. It can generate art. I have some art that my AI agent will generate. Hopefully, when I run it, it will also do that because I don't pick what it does. It does what it wants, right? So it can create an NFT, and then it can do a number of things. So let's go ahead and run it. And this is the last step that we'll do today, and then open it up for questions. So right now, this is running. Okay, so let's do autonomous mode. So I mentioned agent to agent communication, right? Or human to agent communication. We're just going to do autonomous. So now we're going to watch it, right? I mentioned that be creative and do something interesting. So now agent's thinking, okay, now it wants to create a token and it wants to deploy an NFT. Okay. So, okay, look, it just created the token. It created Cosmic Coin, right? So now it has its own token, but it's on testnet. This is not on mainnet. Um, and it deployed a new NFT, right? Now it's thinking again, oh, what should I do next, right? So now it's going to create some art. So after it's done with this part, I'm gonna stop and then we're gonna end there. But see, okay, when that URL finished, okay, let's stop here. Let's read. I've generated a stunning piece of art depicting the futuristic landscape. The scene showcases an interstellar city complete with flying cars and towering luminous set on the full sky of colorful nebula and distant stars, right? So we can view the image that it created right here. So this is what the agent wanted to create, which that's pretty cool, in my opinion. So yeah, this This is the future right now, right? Where AI can be agentic. Again, I will share these code bases so you can play with it. But coming back to this is the end. Any questions? Let me check in the chat. Okay, no questions.
It's quite impressive to see such rapid growth in the field of AI and blockchain. It is impressive, but sometimes it's quite scary. Like people are uncertain what they will do in the future with such things. So uh, I guess it's good that we are one of those people who are on the forefront of such technologies and discussing such technologies every day. So yeah, any if there's any question from anyone else, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, we will go ahead and towards the end of today's session and that blockchain series. Mhm. So I guess we don't have any question. Before ending today's session, let me tell you that what are the next events that we are bringing in Empeer Den community. Our next event would be a competition for the final year projects of different universities that in which you will present your project, and then we will select 3 projects for the mentoring and guidance and some other benefits, at least for one next year, in which we try to convert your FIP into a business product, a full-scale product. So we will love to have you guys in that event. And beside that, uh, most probably in the middle of January, we will have our next series on automation and AI agents and how you can create your own AI agents. So yeah, stay tuned with us for such amazing sessions. So if we don't have any questions, so we will go towards the conclusion. Here are the QR code on our screens that you can uh, scan and join our community. And yeah, and here are the social and the links of our social media pages and accounts. So you can stay tuned on these platforms with us to get the dates for our next events. Thank you, everyone, for staying with that long session. Thank you. A special thanks to our guest, James Levis and Muhammad Ahmed, for guiding us and teaching us the trending next-gen technologies. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.